welcome back to the channel. You're watching That's Wrong.
Issues, man.
Come on.
Be like, yeah. You love me like, no. You love me like, oh, oh, oh. You love me like, yeah. You love me like, no.
Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's
Drake
and Bree, and you're watching Worth the Wait. Today, we are talking about the baby daddies. The baby daddies. Come on, Dre. You're supposed to have my back.
Oh, my bad.
The baby daddy dilemma. Should I stay with my baby daddy?
I don't know much about this subject. I am not a baby daddy, nor
No, you are not.
do I have a baby
No, you do
daddy
not.
or
Oh.
a baby mama. It's not possible for I don't know. I guess things, I don't know. Anyways, only thing I can say on this subject is something that I've talked about in a previous video, and is that just being with somebody because you have a child with them does not like necessarily right any wrong. So I told the story in a past video about when I went to New Orleans. Our Uber driver was like an ATM technician guarder, and he like guards technicians who change out ATMs. So if you ever see one, there's somebody around the corner like looking at you, make sure you don't like rob them. But one of the guys who was a technician at the ATM, he told us like needed $20 for lunch. He left his wallet somewhere. So he took the $20. Then the next day he just put it back. But then he ended up getting in trouble. They found out, and he got 20 years, $1 for every or a year for every dollar, because he stole the $20. And I say that to say is that just because he put the money back does not stop him from actually like, or didn't stop him, or
Doesn't take away the fact that
Yes.
he stole it in the first place.
doesn't take away the fact, thank you, that's why we got a partner here, doesn't take away the fact that he stole it in the first place. So it's like, if you had a baby, especially people who are religious, you have a baby out of wedlock or things like that, or premarital sex, and you end up having a baby with someone, it's like getting married does not stop what you did from being wrong, in a sense. Like what you did, you did. What God wants is a happy, healthy relationship, happy, healthy marriages. He doesn't want you to be divorced or want you to just be in a relationship that's unhealthy just because you have a child with that person. And yeah, you have anything to add to that?
Not to that point, but what I was gonna say is, so most of the time people are asking this question because they're not happy in the relationship, otherwise it wouldn't be a question, right? It's I'm with my baby daddy, but things aren't like going well, but it's like I don't want a broken home, or I don't want my baby to be raised without a father. And at the end of the day, staying with your baby daddy, if things aren't happy and healthy, could be worse off than you raising your child alone, and him or her seeing their father once or twice out of the week and on weekends, or whatever the case may be. The focus should be about you being happy and healthy so that you can raise a happy and healthy child, and that they can be raised in a space where they see what love looks like. And to raise somebody in a household that it's clear that that is not love, and that it's not happy and it's not healthy, that does just the same amount of damage. So I always tell people, like, look at what's best for you. And especially when your babies are actual babies, like it's different when, you know, they're teenagers and they can actually look and be like, yo, this doesn't make sense, or like, why are you with my dad if y'all aren't happy? And I would just say, from being raised in like a single household, my mom did not, like, she raised me perfectly fine without my dad being there, and I would have preferred my dad not being there than to have been raised where my mom and dad were constantly fighting and getting in arguments, and didn't have time to properly love me because they were so busy unloving each other, or having issues within the two of them and their relationship. So that's something to think about, is if you do what's best for you, it's ultimately what is best for your child.
Yeah, I'll add this too, because I didn't even think about it, because my biological father, who passed when I was 16, my mom and my dad were, my mom and my biological father were divorced ever since I can remember. So I don't know if it happened Before I was born, I don't think so. It happened after I was born, but ever since I can remember, they were both separated and not together. And I just think first, the term baby daddy is childish in itself. And I think that the term, like me, I guess technically my dad was my mom's baby daddy, even though it was her ex-husband, but it's like you, I don't want to look at you in that light. I never heard that word from my mom or my dad. My dad never called my mom his baby mother. My mom never called my dad his baby daddy, because it's because it's like, this is my child's father. Whether that's my ex-husband or ex-wife, it's like that term just, I feel like, starts in a childish place almost. And I feel like when it comes to dealing with these situations, from what I've observed, I was raised in a situation where my mom and dad were cordial. Like, they could sit in the same room together. Like, my dad would come over to my grandmother's house, who was my mom's house, for dinner all the time. There was no issues, because first, they made it all about me. Whatever we're doing, it's all about our child. I don't care what you do outside of that. I don't care what you do outside of that, but you have to make it about the child. And I feel like a lot of times when it comes to the baby daddy or baby mother argument or issues, is that people are not willing to be adults. Yeah. Like, people are acting so childish. And it's like, are you willing to sit down at the table and have a conversation with somebody and say, hey, we're not together at this moment, or, you know, our relationship for us doesn't really make sense right now. However, we do have an obligation to this child, and we need to figure out what roles we're going to play in this, what our responsibilities are going to be, and we need to stay accountable to those things. Most of the time I hear these people with these issues, they're the bickering. It's like bickering back and forth. It's like childish arguments. And if somebody can't get to the point to where they're even willing to sit down at the table, then, you know, you may have to take that legal route to make things clear. But there should be a way, especially when you have a child involved, because at that point, it's bigger than you or that person. You have a life that you're responsible for, that you both were responsible for making and creating. So it's like, you guys have to pull whatever your crap together that you have between you two and figure out how you're going to operate in a way that's best for that child. Because if you feel like the baby daddy did you wrong, that child has nothing to do with that. If you feel like the baby mama did you wrong, that child has nothing to do with that. So bringing your crap into that child's life is unfair to that child.
You'd be a good baby daddy. So mature.
Thank you.
But no, that's serious. Like, I have so many friends that I just be like, it's exhausting listening to the conversations, because it's like, at the end of the day, you both are very petty. So it's like, what you're saying to me is petty. The whole situation is petty, and it's all about the mindset that you go into it with. And I think the issue and why people use the term baby daddy, baby mama is because throughout the relationship, something happens where someone gets their feelings hurt. And it's a back and forth cycle of, they hurt you, so you hurt them. They hurt you, so they, you know, and it's just back and forth, and it doesn't stop. And it's not productive for you as individuals, because you can't move on with your life completely because your feelings and emotions are tied up with someone who you clearly aren't even with. And then you have a child who now is kind of the product of what you two are doing. So they're going to be raised seeing that. And they're going to have the same mentality and the pettiness and the things if they're not able to step outside of the situation on their own, or if at some point it doesn't change. So, yeah.
Yeah, I think 2020, let's throw those terms away. Like,
no more baby mamas, baby daddies.
I love when I hear, like, if, you know, you ask somebody and they say, oh, that's Caden's mother, or that's Caden's father, or that's, you know what I'm saying? It's like, that's my child's mother, or that's my child's father, or something like that. Versus, I feel like as soon as you go to baby daddy, you're like, that's my baby daddy, or that's my baby. It's like, it just starts with I feel like the pettiness and like the immaturity. And it's like, you know, being respectful and understanding that at the end of the day, you both, if, you know, praying that the sexual experience was consensual, that you both made a choice to lay down with whoever you laid down with, and you had that child. So whether that person is an upstanding citizen or not, like, that decision was partly yours to make. So it's just taking that responsibility, and not, especially for your children, because that's the most important thing or the most important person in this relationship at all, in everything, is just making sure that your child is safe and has a great upbringing, and is around a healthy environment, something that fosters growth and being the best person that they could possibly be.
Yeah, and at the end of the day, I feel like if you're not going to be with the father or mother of your child, that at the end of the day, you have to learn to be friends. You have to learn how to be partners in parenting, because you got that person in your life for pretty much the rest of your life or the rest of your child's life. So it's important to kind of know how to deal with that person and to be able to still live your life and be happy and healthy, whether you're single and they're with someone or not. Like, why does that matter? Like, it should just be a friendship at the end of the day. So
yeah,
2020, let's knock out those terms.
I feel like the focus should first be on the child before the relationship.
Yeah.
Because regardless of what happens, the relationship could end at any point. You all will always have a child together. So if you're trying to figure out, all right, we know people who have like a baby daddy or a baby mama, and basically they're trying to juggle the relationship, but also the relationship with the child. And it's like, no, focus before you try to figure out you two relationship, figure out the relationship with the child, how you all will take care of your responsibilities. And then once you figure out the relationship with the child, then you can start to work on you guys' relationship, because regardless of what happens with you guys, you still have a child together.
And it's like we say in a relationship, if you put God at the center of it, God holds us accountable to love each other correctly. And so if you put your child as the focus, then it's like your actions shouldn't do anything that would put any harm to your child. And at the end of the day, arguing, bickering, keeping your child from seeing the other parent or from, just having a normal life, that is harming your child. So if you keep your child at the center and make sure that everything that you do is for their for the betterment of their situation, then you'd be good. But a lot of times that doesn't happen because people are petty.
Yes.
So hope this helps. Make sure you guys comment below. Let us know your thoughts on this topic. And if you have any other questions, follow us on Instagram at Brianna Ponte, at It's Dre Smith, and at With The Wait. Until next time.